We're gonna do something different this week. We wanna show you an amazing case study from one of our students at the remote Multifamily Investing Academy. As you can see, everything that Brad did to change his life, honestly. 32 doors in 4 months. Woo! But before you do, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the like button and hit the alerts so that you get notified every week. Let's check it out.
Jen and Stacy helped me get 32 doors in 4 months. No joke.
Woo! 32 doors in 4 months. She goes, unbelievable. Brad, what was your life like before you joined the remote Multifamily Investing Academy?
Trying to figure out what I want to do in life, because if I were to rewind, probably about a year before I joined the program, I had been thinking about how do I invest more in real estate. And my challenge, it's not that I haven't been interested in it for many years, but my challenge was, how do I actually do it and commit to it? And about a year before the program, I stumbled upon a small little book about multifamily by someone everyone knows, Grant Cardone. And I read through the book and I was dumbfounded because I realized I'd been looking at this all wrong, looking at single family rentals and how do I scale with my own money? And you got to sell a property and make the equity to invest in another property and split that between more properties. And I'm like, it's going to take me years before I can create passive income. So about 6 months before our program, my local realtor that has helped me buy some houses before came to me and said, I'm doing multifamily. And I'm like, tell me more, tell me more. And she wouldn't tell me much. And she goes, you probably should look at some groups on Facebook. And the first group that popped up was Jen and Stacy Conkey's Real Estate Investment Group.
That's awesome, man.
That's how I ended up here.
So did you ever dip your toe into real estate before joining us?
A little bit. I'll fast forward to maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. My wife and I bought a single family home. And when we decided to buy a new house, we kept that property and we turned that into a rental. So my experience of real estate was I had one single family rental property walking into this that I had managed, but it's not a property that I sought to buy as an investment. It was just our old house we used to live in, and we turned it into a rental. We take that leap of faith after I spoke to my wife was, if I don't ever do this now, when am I ever going to get where I want to be? And that was my statement. I told myself, I have to do this now because I've been looking at real estate for years. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I've been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And it was just that time. And I'm like, I've got to do this.
What was your first goal when you joined?
First of all, understand what the heck I'm doing.
Good goal.
That was my first step. So my second goal was making sure I was doing what I was being told to do. Having that trust and faith that if you do what you're supposed to do, according to the experts that have told you, you will hit what you're going to hit. Yep.
That's awesome, Brad. This is getting exciting. All right. So you've been in the program for 4 months.
Yep.
What are the biggest takeaways or lessons that you have walked away with so far?
Biggest takeaway and lessons, just do it. You're never going to get where you want to be if you don't take any action. So it's called pick up your phone and dial the phone number that you see in front of you on your computer when you need to call a realtor or a broker. There's nothing else to it. Just pick up that phone and call that number. So that's step one. The last part of it is getting comfortable networking with other like-minded people in our group. And that was a big part. I'm transparently not a big social media guy. I'm not a big advertiser of my life, but I had to get out of my comfort zone. Some of my faults are I'm a person who always looks at the end goal, and I sometimes have a tendency to forget the steps in between. And that's my challenge in my head. I always struggle with that. You will always have so much to learn. But when you start to absorb and understand something, it's really not that hard. When I look at my main job and what I have to do for that job, and I look at what I have to do for this job, it's a lot easier once you get it. Mm-hmm. Like once you have the confidence and you really get it. And the time constraints, especially once you get a deal closed, I personally think it's not that bad. I got some time on my hands. more than I expected.
Tell us all your happy moments.
Oh man. I mean, the first happy moment is getting my first contract. I mean, signed or sending the first letter of intent and a broker actually responding to my email. Like
Yeah.
that was super exciting. And after my fourth letter of intent, got my first accept after on my fourth one. And then literally 2 weeks later, I got another one accepted. And I'm like, wow, this is freaking crazy. That was intimidating because you want that to happen in 24 hours, but it takes time. And you have to talk to people and build relationships with people. But I think Coach Kim told it to me when I got done with everything. Between my two deals I'm an operator on, I had to raise $600,000 in the span of 3 weeks. And I did it. And I've never done it before.
How did you do it, man?
Talk to people.
Okay. Let's talk about your first building.
The first deal is a deal in Cincinnati. Purchase price roughly around $637,700. That's not roughly, that's exact. But it's an 11-unit property, value add. Built the team locally, got all my partners in play. And one of the nice, cool things about this property is after we closed, and it's still just starting out, but our property manager came to us and said, hey, I know we talked about, $825 a month, $850 a month for rents, but I actually think I can get close to $900 a month.
That's always good news.
Yeah.
That is
So
always good.
that's super exciting. There's no more boiler in the building. Everything's individually metered now. And these are important things when you're looking at a value add property that I've learned through this program. That are super helpful when you're doing a value add. And by the way, all this stuff I'm talking about, I knew nothing about before I started. So,
And you're already a master at this. This is amazing. Okay. And what about the second property?
Super excited because I just found out today there's also 2 vacant units. So that means that we can quickly turn them around and get those at market rent too. So out of our 11 units on the deal we closed today, I think we're already going to have greater than 50% at the market rents that we needed.
That is awesome.
So
you're the operator in those first 2 deals. Talk to
correct.
me about your third deal.
So that was actually my very first deal. That is a 10-unit deal, also in Cincinnati, also a value add, but I'm a JV partner in that deal. The reason I jumped on the bandwagon to make that deal my first deal is I knew if I was about 4 to 6 weeks ahead on someone else's deal, I would get visibility into the process. And I would learn what my other operator peers are doing. And what I could do is borrow what they're doing well. If there's anything I think they could improve upon, I can take a mental note so I can improve upon that myself. And I use that as a catalyst to help me do a better job negotiating my own personal deals, as well as understanding how to manage partners.
The 32 doors in 4 months, like what's your annual cash flow for those 32 doors for you?
For my Cincinnati deal is about $25,000 a year. That's for the entire group. And then the Florida one's about $45,000 a year.
So between these 32 doors, it's a collective $95,000 in annual cash flow. It diced up amongst JV partners, but still.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I could tell you how much I'm taking home if you want.
Hell yeah. Everybody watching wants to know, what is it?
So $24,000 a year is my take-home income. I want more. I mean, my long-term goals are massive. And my long-term goal is I'd love to get this to my personal take-home $30,000 a month. I know that's a large number, but that's where I want to go. And I'm not going to let anyone stop me. For the rest of this year, I'd love to get it as close to 10,000 if I can for myself to my take home. But I'm just going to keep going and trust in the process, and wherever the numbers hit, it'll happen.
Brad, what advice do you have for anybody that's out there right now watching, not too sure of themselves? Like, what do you have to say to them about multifamily investing?
Well, if you don't do it, you're not going to succeed in what you want to achieve. So just do it. Step number 1, take action, as all the videos say. Don't sell yourself short. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. It's okay to not understand what you're doing. And it's okay to make mistakes. That's what you have coaches for.
Love it. Is there anything else you want to share, Brad, that we didn't cover?
I will say I've been in the corporate world for a long time, and I have never been around such a supportive group of peers interested in the same thing in my entire career. And I cannot stress how important and impactful that is when you're working with a group of people in real estate, this specific group. You have that home here, and there's nothing that can replace that. So,
See, that's why I do these, man. That makes me very happy. I'm
it's
super
so
excited
true.
about that.
It's
Yeah.
so like, it's not bullshit. Like, it's so true. And not to get personal, but like, I'm a VP of sales. Like, that's my job. Like, my job is to mentor and coach other people and motivate people and keep them excited. And it's hard for me to find places to motivate me because it's my job to motivate other people. And I found that here, a place that I can actually help with my mindset.
I love that. Congratulations on your closing today. That's badass.
Thank you. On to the next.
Right on, man. I'll see you later. If you do want to get into multifamily real estate investing, but you're not sure what's the first step, the second, or the third, you can click the link in the description below, and a member of our team will hop on the phone with you and talk about your goals, your resources, and how we can hold your hand and get you to where you want to be.
The other thing we want to tell you is that we have a free Facebook group. It's called Multifamily Real Estate Investing. So if you want to be around people that are like you, on the journey, looking to learn, come join us in that Facebook group. We do tons of free education and content there. And every week, Jen and I make ourselves available for a question and answer session. It's live, it's in Zoom, we're face to face. You gotta come to the Facebook group, register, go to events, and then we'll see you there. But any questions you have about real estate, we're there to answer them for you.